Hi, welcome all of you for this new video. So today's topic is about clinical evaluations. Excuse me. Yeah, so I just forget to keep my phone silent. So in today's video, we talk about clinical evaluations. As earlier, we already mentioned about what the clinical data. So what is clinical evaluations? So for any manufacturers who manufacture these medical devices, they have to produce the clinical evidences. And what are these clinical evidences? In which form they presenting? So clinical evaluation report. The clinical evaluation report is a document in which the all clinical data analysis and assessment is properly summarized and properly systematic way is presented in that report, and that report is presented as the clinical evidences of that particular medical devices, which helps the manufacturer to market those medical devices in different countries. Now, what is clinical evaluation actually does in this report? What actually it drives and which kind of clinical data is included? So, in clinical evaluation report, it includes every data, even for the medical device. What are the principles of the medical device? How the medical device is, manufactured, like how manufactured. It means like which standards have been followed during the manufacturing of that medical devices. Now, is these medical devices is as per as manufacturer intended use, like it has been used earlier with the different authorities and organizations and clinicians. So we need to report that is there any kind of safety and performance outcome has been achieved or reported with that medical devices, which can maybe increase red flag. Also, like any kind of adverse event is has been reported or not. If it is reported, then when and where is reported. And according to all these data, we perform some benchmarking of these devices, and we come to make a conclusion whether this medical devices is as per manufacturer standards or not, with the same similar medical devices which is manufactured by other manufacturers. So according to that, to give this comparison, we perform the benchmarking against the similar benchmark devices which is already available in the market, and then we need to evaluate, we need to see whether this current medical devices is as per as much is as per standard as maintained by the similar benchmark devices. If it is a beneficial against the similar benchmark devices, then how and how much, like quantity and quality, all kind of measurement and assessment we need to perform, and we need to report in the clinical evaluation reports. And again, what is the post-market surveillance report, post-market clinical follow-ups, how many cells have been done, each and everything. Now, one thing we need to understand that clinical evaluations report template or design of these reports can be different by the different manufacturers. Each manufacturers have their own template to making such kind of clinical evaluation reports, and those are pretty much standard for all kind of similar medical devices. Only few things like we need to fit, like some current data, clinical data, and other things. Now, when this clinical evaluation report get made, then this clinical evaluation report goes to the regulatory bodies and authority bodies which authorize to make this medical device into the market. They assess everything, and these clinical evaluations accompany with different technical documents which give the proof that conformity of that particular medical devices and to the regulatory bodies. So according to that, regulatory or authorizing bodies decide whether this medical device is as per standards or not. If any design changes has been performed, then why such design changes has been performed, we need to report that in clinical evaluation report. For example, if there is any kind of catheters, and one catheter doesn't have any surface coating, and suppose another catheter having any kind of specific coatings, with the same catheters we make some kind of different coatings. So clinical evaluation report for that particular device become completely different. We need to justify why this coating is important, why we have done these coatings, what are the clinical benefit of that. So everything, what clinical benefit has been come, what is the benefit risk ratios, what are the adverse events have been performed, where these clinical devices have been used, in how many patients have been used, for which particular years they have been used, and how many physicians, is there any kind of adverse events reported, is any kind of safety outcomes has been reported, is there any kind of formality, or is there any kind of adverse events like any kind of death happened with the use of such medical devices. So everything we need to report, and it is kind of summarized but summarized document, but whatever we report in the clinical evaluation, we give the proper reference to that. So as I again told you, like as I again telling you, these clinical evaluations report, template or the format of the clinical evaluation reports can be different for all different kind of manufacturers. They have their own formatting, but more and less each and every clinical report must have content about device informations, device principle of operations, intended use, and for how many patient population device can be used, medical device can be used. And apart from that, is there any kind of safety and performance outcome has been reported, in how many patient has been used, we need to report this also. Which organization has been used these medical devices, or which clinician, or like which clinicians, or maybe healthcare professional has used those first things. So we need to report a bit of information on this also. And then benchmarking we are going to perform. So and each and everything having the particular scientific way of doing. And apart from that, when they need to search the medical report or any kind of clinical report on that medical devices, so they have performed some specific strategy, how to find such data, where to find such research article or clinical data to extract such informations and put them in clinical evaluation reports. So there are various website, there are various databases where any medical writer need to go there and then extract such article first, relevant article which is related to the medical device. They need to extract such medical article, such scientific article first, and then they extract the information from them. And then first, after extracting the such information, they go for the appraisal. They find the relevancy of that information or not, and once they find the relevancy and all, then they go for the appraisals, and then after the appraisals, they going to include in their clinical evaluation report. So each and every process is very scientific way, and they need to follow that particular standards. So this is a particular way of extracting the clinical evaluation, and this is all about the clinical evaluation reports. I can give you much more information on that clinical evaluation reports if you want. So just DM me and just make a comment. I will definitely describe on that. So this is for now for the clinical evaluation report. We will meet in another video with some another topics. So till then, bye, take care.